I love that music. That's kind of like drifting through space,
Mm-hmm.
just floating through space, spooky space music.
Floating through space.
That's what we love, spooky space music. Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. Let us know in the chat that you can see us, you can hear us, and we'll get the show started. Sure. Let me make sure my phone is on silent. Let's not be rude here. And we'll get cranking here. All right, who we got here? Loud and clear. Thank you, Bronwyn. Very good. Excellent. This is what we like to hear. All right. Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. This is the companion show that goes with all of our expedition videos. We do this every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's just a hangout where we get together with our Hellbenders and basically talk smack and discuss current goings-on in High Strangeness. We'll talk about some of our expeditions. We'll talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on with what we're doing. And it's just a pretty free-for-all good time that we do every Monday. That's for anybody that's new that's joining. We have a lot of people that are here every week, and we want to welcome you guys back as well. We appreciate you all. You guys are the best. We want to make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And that is that all? That's all the little housekeeping stuff, I guess.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. But yeah, make sure that you hit that like button. It won't kill you, we promise you. It's good for you in the end.
What if the cops show up at our house one day going, and we're like, we didn't do anything, and they're going, you left a trail of bodies between here and we're like, how? And they're going,
they take out their notebook and they're like,
yeah, and they start like listing off people like
200 likes. It's a trail of bodies.
Trail of bodies. So all right.
All right, guys. I hope everybody's had a pretty good weekend. We've had a crazy weekend.
We had a crazy, exhausting,
yeah,
physically demanding weekend.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So somebody was in the chat before we even got started, and they were like talking about the Roid rage thing that was on the title. So I know last Monday I talked to you guys when I was on here. The latest in my poison ivy saga. I got poison ivy 2 weeks ago. What?
Nothing. Just the saga.
The saga. I got poison ivy 2 weeks ago. Well, Monday it was doing pretty bad. When I was on the show, it was pretty bad. It's pretty painful. And I was starting to get more outbreaks. And I was like, well, that's not good. So I got up Tuesday and I had to go to urgent care because it was just getting really bad. It was starting to cover my body. And I was in extreme pain, and I had it was just terrible. It was terrible. So I had to go get put on prednisone. So I had to get a steroid. So I'm on prednisone for 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe has been dealing with me being roided up and going into roid rages at random. So he deserves a nice pat on the back for that because he has survived my various freakouts at this point because I'm already a crazy, weird person. And now we've thrown...
This ain't easy at the best of times.
We've thrown steroids into the mix. But I am on the mend. I'm feeling a lot better. My my big outbreak here on my arm is a lot better. So the drugs are working.
Mm-hmm.
We are keeping her alive. But yeah, so I should be okay. But yeah, I have flown into some pretty weird psychotic states over the past...
Psychotic sounds about right.
Over the past week. And when we put out the Equinox video,
mm-hmm.
which should be coming out soon because we did our Equinox experiments over the weekend. We'll get to that. When I put that out, I don't know if I'm having a paranormal episode or if it's a combination of a paranormal and a steroid-induced...
It was a paranormal episode.
Psychotic
it was
episode.
A paranormal episode.
So you guys can be the judge on that whenever you see that.
Yeah. So
yeah. But we want to welcome everybody to the show, and we've got a lot of our regulars in here tonight, which is awesome.
Wendy Niggles on vacation celebrating the autumn equinox in Ibiza, so we have a rare chance to join you live. So all right, hey, how's the weather in Ibiza right now?
I think it's always nice in Ibiza. That's why it's Ibiza.
Yeah, they probably don't get much snow. So
yeah. Stingray 1975 said a paranoidal episode. Oh, that's
Patty G says, Joe, you're doing a good job. Now has a larger meaning. And that is, yes.
Yes, it does.
So
yeah, I feel bad. I've been trying to tamp down the beast inside.
Tamp down the beast.
But yeah, so I'm trying to take my steroids early in the morning, and that way by the afternoon I'm kind of leveled out a little bit.
If you guys haven't ever, like, if you don't know this by now, Jessi doesn't half-ass.
You don't want to make Jeffy angry.
Jessi doesn't half-ass like anything in her life. So as soon as she goes to the doctor's office, she calls me up and she's just like, they put me on steroids, so you need to watch out in case I start breaking things around the house. Like, you literally, like, she's just expecting it to put her into like Hulk status, like, immediately. So she was somewhere and they had like tiny little like cocktail like knives and forks.
Yeah, but they look like regular knives,
but they're half size. So she's sending me pictures of them in her hand. The steroids have already taken effect. Look how huge I'm getting. So that's been literally my entire week, is her like not being able to sleep because of insane poison ivy, and then just the having fun with taking steroids then. So
yeah.
All right.
the joy of my roid rage.
The joy of her roid rage. So
yeah. So but I am healing up. So it's the drugs are working. So that's good. That's a plus. Yeah. So I don't know if any of you guys, most of you guys, some of you guys got to see that we actually went live out in the field. I know we kept saying we're never going to do that again, but we did not reveal where we were. So we went live from the field on Saturday because this weekend for a couple of days, we've been working on a project. We were doing some experiments with a new piece of tech that we've been developing over the past few months. And this was the first time that we actually got to deploy that in the field. We're going to do some more trial and error with it, but it was really cool to finally get to actually take it out and fire it up in the field. I think when we did it, we were a little nervous when we were doing it, because like a lot of components in that. And we're going to talk about that in a second, but so we did that live, and a huge shout out to Steve Causey for
the man
for sending us that signal booster. I took video of it. That's in the live too, so you guys can see it. It's like a 20-foot extendable pole that the unit goes on top of.
We took it with us because there's no signal through that area at all. It's very mountainous through there. We took it with us, and we, just in case, and then we were there, we did some scouting during the daytime. We're getting set up for night. We're changing locations. We're like, you know what? Let's go see if we know where the tallest point is through there. We're like, let's go up to the tallest point. Slap this bad boy up. Because I just thought it would strengthen signals. And then Steve Causey was like, oh no, you crank that up high enough, you might be able to pick up a signal that when there's nothing else there at all.
Yeah.
So we went there, extended up. I'm like, when you see me drop off camera a bunch, it was getting a little windy. I'm up there holding the damn thing to make sure it doesn't fall over, because we've literally got it a foot away from this drop off of this like cliff. And we put it up here, and I'll be damned, man. I mean, it was a little pixelated, but the fact that you were able to stream from there at all is like insane.
When we got back, when we were back the next day, I looked at that video. There's some pixelization, but considering there is like parts in that live where it is clear as a bell. It's so nice.
We usually can't make phone calls from there. We can't send text messages from there. Every once in a while,
my Garmin InReach Mini has trouble acquiring a signal from there.
It's just every once in a while we have trouble sending like satellite text through there. But we slapped that bad boy up, and we were just going I powered it up, and then she goes, I've got signal. And I'm going, all right, well, just because it shows you've got signal, let's just give it a shot. So she made a phone call, she sent a text, and she's going, this is all going through. So we're like, all right, screw it, let's work.
Yeah, so it worked. So that signal booster is really going to open up a few doors to us.
Daryl Denton's able to comment. He's never been able to comment. He and I both looked into it, trying to figure out why he couldn't comment. He's here.
Daryl Denton.
Mr. Denton's in the house.
He's broken through. So what's really cool about that is that's really going to open up, that signal booster is really going to open up some doors. I know that we've talked in the past. I know that you guys really enjoy our live investigations. You guys love when we go out in the field and we just throw it up there, and you guys get that notification that we're out in the field, and you can watch us live as we bumble around, try not to get killed or fall into holes or cliffs.
And those are rough to do. Those are difficult. Those are so much easier just to do what we normally do and just have some cameras going, and then later on take that footage and then present it.
Yeah.
Trying to do it live is It sucks. It just sucks.
It
it
sucks.
sucks.
But
It's not enjoyable on our end.
It's
so.
it's an added kind of, it's like added kind of level of stuff. Nobody else really does anything like that. From like the remote locations that we do it from.
Well, we were always limited, and we're still limited.
We're still limited.
We're still limited because it's not going to work everywhere. And even when it does, we have to stay within a range of it. At one point, I think we kind of walked off a little bit. We're going to be limited, but we could do remote. We can't traipse through the woods with it, obviously.
Yeah. It's not a mobile unit at all, because it's got like a box that's on a. It's a big box atop a 20-foot pole with another box at the bottom. And then attached to a 20-foot long cable is another box that has to go from the other side. And then we have a power unit that is in an ammo can. So it's not mobile in the slightest. So go on.
But it was amazing. It's so, we've got that. We will be able to do stationary investigations. And we're thinking about doing that, going into some of these areas and setting up. We don't usually do like the full gamut of like everything that we have, stuff on tripods. We've got like parabolic dishes and everything like that going, but we might actually do that from a couple places and just kind of share that and then break everything down, store it, and then go on foot and do our normal thing.
What is that video? There was a video where I think it was where we actually saw that white wolf, and I captured that white wolf thing in the trail. That was, the eyes were behind me. I stepped in poop as usual.
I don't know if we'll be able to do it there because that's lower, but it's worth a shot.
But in that open area, because you have that open area, I know it's lower, but that might be a possibility. That's the place where Joe left me as bait that time. And there was that eyes behind me. We might try to do a live from there because that's such a weird place. It's so charged, and there's a lot of stories that go along with that clearing too that are really freaky. It's like occult rituals have taken place in that clearing, and we have witnesses who have told us about that. So that place is really charged. I think it would be a great place to do a live from if we could actually get the signal booster to work. So we're going to experiment with that. We're going to test out the signal booster in that location as well. And if we can do that, that might be one of the locations where we do a live investigation where you guys can watch us in the midst of what we're doing. If we do a setup where we do a stationary, we have all of our equipment out, it'll probably be in that location where we tried to camp that night, where we saw those lights, weird lights up on top of the hill, and we got up there. I think you had your pistol out at that point.
The one she's talking about here is the night where we left.
It was the same.
I'm going to star this when we get back to Grace's comment.
Okay.
And we had left Jessi in that clearing for bait, and we had those two what looked like eyes come up behind her, disembodied eyes. We got that flash of light that came out of the ground. We saw that weird canine thing. We were going back to our camp, and we're like, somebody's at our camp. There's a big diffused like light. We thought it was a lantern inside of our tent
that we had left on.
Yeah, and we're like, we didn't leave a lantern inside of our tent.
Yeah.
We thought somebody was inside of our tent, and then the fabric of the tent was diffusing the light. And then there was another light moving around. So we think, all right, there's somebody in our tent. There's somebody moving around our campsite. You know, we got some expensive crap we take with us to do this stuff. So we pull up, and I'm like
my tent is it's a nice marmot tent.
So
I got pissed off. I thought somebody was up at my tent.
So I'm like, we yell and nobody answers. We don't see the lights now. So we're thinking, and we're on a hill. The reason why we chose this place is there's one approach up and down, and then you can't approach the other three sides. So we're out there looking for spooky stuff. It's defensible. It's a good area where not much can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
So I tell Jessi, I was like, I'm going to see who's up here. So I pull my pistol out, and we're going up. Jessi's behind me, and I turn around, I think, to tell her, like, don't shoot me in the back, you know, if anything happens. And I'm like, do you have that damn camera on? And she just laughs and goes, yeah, I do, you know. So we filmed the approach, and there was nothing up there. So there were not people up there. And that's not too terribly far from where we saw that portal light that night, which is another light that did not light anything up around it, a diffused kind of light that didn't illuminate anything around it. So Grace was talking about when you do things live and catch evidence, it makes it so much better. You can tell how authentic it is. It's what we struggle with is that, so we're streaming from a phone setup, and then we're using other pieces of equipment, and most of our other equipment, like our thermals and the psionics and all that, have little eye ports. You got to have it up to your eye. It's monoculars, basically. So we're looking at maybe getting a tablet geared up just to connect to this equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're catching stuff on the thermal or the psionics night vision or anything like that, we can connect it and then hold the screen of the tablet up to the phone. So that way you guys can see it in real time.
Yeah.
Because it was really difficult to do during the Brown Mountain Lights. You're trying to hold your camera of your phone up to the lens, and it looked cool, but it wasn't until people saw the footage later that they went, holy crap.
Yeah, but I mean, I tried. I did my best. That's the thing too.
Doing my best.
Doing my best. You know, when we're doing this, it is trial by fire every day.
Yeah.
And we're constantly trying to innovate, and we're constantly trying to evolve the way that we do everything. It's just part of our personalities that we want to do stuff the best we can, and we want to present it to you guys because you guys mean so much to us, and you guys deserve to get the truth. You deserve to get the best footage. I do it for you. That's why I want you to have here. Take these gifts, but
take these gifts.
Take these gifts. But I'm just like, it's so frustrating to me when we're seeing something and the audience can't. And I think that is one of the things that really just pisses everybody off about a lot of shows. Is it's a lot of people running through the woods going, "Did you hear that?" That's
a double-edged sword because it's frustrating for people. I understand that it's frustrating for people, and that's why we have amassed so much equipment, is because that happens to us. And then we're like, what we have wasn't good enough to capture what we were seeing.
Yeah.
What do we need to have in case that happens again? And even then, sometimes things happen and we can only carry so much in our backpacks. We have to carry food, water, medical supplies, and just the normal stuff that you take out into the woods, like GPS units, stuff like that. That takes up a certain amount of weight and volume, but water,
that's heavy.
Depending on like what time of the year we're going or where we're going, that loadout changes, but it's something. And then we have to carry the equipment, and it's a lot. And we're not on hiking paths. We're usually on old like forestry roads or game trails and all that. So we can only take so much. So, but the other thing too that plays into that is that it kind of, for me, defeats that argument that people make where they go, well, everybody's got a cell phone camera nowadays. Why don't we have a clear image of Bigfoot? And I'm going, we're out there, cameras at the ready, and we're carrying stuff that's beyond a cell phone camera, right? Things still happen so quickly for us that we don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're trying our damnedest, and that's specifically what we're out there for.
With a camera in our hands.
So it's not like somebody has to pull out their cell phone, open their camera app, find it, and then take a photo. We're out there, camera in hand, specifically looking around for it. And
you got to put in your code 6969.
So so whenever somebody tells me that, and they're going like, that's like the perfect debunking explanation that all this isn't real, I'm just going, no, you take it from me, somebody that does this on a weekly basis. We're out there with cameras going, ready to go, and we miss stuff.
Yeah.
So therefore, if somebody went, I saw this, but I couldn't get a photo of it on my cell phone. I'm like, how could you have? You know what I'm saying? I'd be more surprised if you did get a photo of something on your cell phone. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we do a remote from over there, we could do like I want to do another camp out attempt at that spot. Although that place is freaking evil.
We never sleep. We just, we end up staying up until the sun, and then we get a few hours sleep in the morning.
We could do like a stakeout and do like a live stakeout from that location. I think that would be really cool. I think you guys would like something like that. Because then we could kind of talk about the equipment a little bit in the field, in practice, in use. And I think that'd be cool. We'll work on planning something like that, especially after my launch. But yeah. So, and what's good about that location is nobody really knows where it's at. So we're not getting doxxed.
Well, that was the area we were getting those weird emails from.
Yeah. So he's the only one that knows.
And we haven't heard anything else. Yeah. So if you're out there, shoot us an email and let us know it's you somehow.
Yeah.
So hold on. Observations from the swamp. Hey guys, from Florida, Matt, Central Florida. Bigfoot's working tonight, so I thought I'd say hello for both of you. Hello, man. I love the way that you two are experimenting with new tech. Tell Matt we said hello. Matt is our good friend that runs Central Florida Bigfoot. We're weird. We're cross spectrum. We're into like everything, like UFOs, paranormal. Sky's the limit for us, man. But as far as like pure Bigfoot like research, Matt, Central Florida Bigfoot's one of the few that we just go, damn, that's interesting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, really
yeah.
interesting.
Well, it's because he brings a different, like he
Yeah.
brings a different skill set to it. He's a professional photojournalist, so he can look at photos or videos, and he looks at them with a professional eye. So that is a skill set that is pretty rare, I'd say, in this field. So it's good to have somebody like that with a different perspective, a professional perspective in that means.
So we've got some cool stuff. On here. Let's go ahead and start diving into some of the stuff that people did. Real K-Pop Adventures wants to know if you got the video from Brown Mountain Lights I sent you on Messenger. I haven't heard you mention it, so I don't know if you've got it. So we will check it out.
I will check that. Let me make a note about that.
So,
oh, you know what? We were doing Josh Turner's show. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. We were doing Josh Turner's show, and we had to do it through a Facebook call thing. And people kept messaging me, and I have no idea how to mute anything on Facebook. So I was just like, oh, and I think you were messaging me that stuff at that time. So I'll take a look at that. That was a fun night. So,
all right.
All right. You're in the notes here.
All right. So on that, when are you going back to the LBL, Jessi?
We are going back to the LBL late in the year. And we are actually collaborating with Small Town Monsters. We're going to be featured in a couple of their videos and a couple of their documentaries about Dogman, werewolves, and the LBL. We've been asked to participate in that, which is a great honor from a great man to set the breed love. So we're going to participate in that. We're going to go be a part of that.
Hook up with our boys while we're out there.
We're going to hook up with
girls, you know, with the crew out there. So
hopefully Mr. Martin is feeling a lot better by then, because we can get the 2 tons of fun out in the LBL. Barton and Martin.
And then the beast out there.
And then so but while we're up there, we're going to actually do some stuff for Hellbent Holler as well. So we're going to do it's going to be an LBL extravaganza. So you guys are going to get a lot of stuff from that. And we have a few new ideas. What?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just getting ready to go on to the next one. We got tons of good stuff here. So we need to wrap it up. Remember Dave Chappelle, wrap it up.
Go ahead.
So, well, now I forgot, lost my place. So let's just.
Wow, you don't seem very prepared today.
I just thought it was.
You're kind of not doing a good job right now.
Moondog Davis had just posted "Never Miss a Turd," and I just thought that was funny, and I just want to add that in.
My dad has the same problem. If there is a turd or a pile of poo anywhere, we will both find it. It'll be on our shoe no matter what happens. Me and my dad always step in shit. So, go on.
Okay. So, in no particular order, somebody wanted to mention that they love Paranormal Roundtable's reaction when you told them about the outlandish TV offers that you've gotten. And that was true. She kind of, if for those of you like Gen Xers out there, you remember when you were a kid and Aerobicize on Showtime, I think it was just hot chicks and like spandex.
It's like some Jane Fonda stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, this was like sexy, just doing aerobics. There was nobody was at home doing aerobics along with Aerobicize.
They were doing some aerobics.
They were getting some like a workout, but not because of that. So, but that's basically what they wanted it to do, like an aerobicize with like cryptids, I guess, be doing like workout and spandex going, the Wendigo hails from, and she was just like, I'll never, ever, ever, A, I don't want to do it, but B, I'll never live it down. I'll just be like, aren't you that chick that bounces around and talks about Bigfoot? Grace W had a kind comment. Y'all have been making it work despite your limitations equipment wise. We are just two weirdos who, like I'll show you guys the beacon that we use later on. We're repurposing commercially just off the shelf stuff. So we're doing the best with what we got. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is not
made for this.
There's not a lot of people out there. Once you get past the ghost hunter stage where people are just running around with EMF detectors going, oh, there's a spike, when they're in an old house that probably has a lot of electrical problems anyway. Yeah. There's really not a lot of people using instrumentation to try to document at least parts of the phenomenon.
Right.
And so we're doing our best here.
We're trying to be the bleeding edge here on how to do this. And so we're kind of developing our own methods of doing everything. Which is fine. It's good. We're hammering at it. So
yep. Steve Causey is here. And Steve, I don't know if you were here in the beginning. If you were, you're going to have to hear it again. Your signal booster was a giant
help.
help.
hit, man.
And we need to put a link to, we're going to put a link to Steve's book. Steve wrote a great book about the land between the lakes.
Yeah.
That he was gracious enough to ask us for some input into it. And he used a couple of our thermal images in it, but he's got a great book on the LBL. We will post a link on that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Jesse's making a note of that right now. But Steve, you were the belle of the ball, man, because we were talking about you quite a bit as far as just how it was just a game changer. We were able to actually join people, let people join in with us and kind of see a little bit of what we were getting up to that night.
And man, that is going to help with the next phase of what we're doing and how we're going to kind of expand this and do more on-site lives. So
if you guys want to help a good friend of the channel out, and read a really good book on the land between the lakes, we'll put that in the show notes. Yeah, that'll be in the show notes below. And you guys can just click on that link and it'll take you and you can purchase Steve CAUSEY'S book about the LBL. It's a good read. It's a good little quick read. You can get through it real easy and it's just packed with information. There's not a lot of fluff. It is just packed with great information on the LBL from a different kind of perspective. So it's good. Our friend OTC off the cufflink said, heard y'all talking about a drone. I've got a Mini 2 SE you can have if you want it. I bought it and did not realize the protocol around flying a drone in Australia. Throw the email up. We might talk to you and see if that drone is something that we literally were talking about a drone right today as we were setting down to do this. We were talking about trying to get back into the drone because it's time that we add a drone to our repertoire here because we've just been so limited with just eyes on the ground. It's time to get eyes in the sky. Down below is our email. If you want to get in touch with us there, our PO box is there. If you guys like to send us snail mail, and then my Instagram is on there if you want to follow along there. But yeah, if you want to send me an email and we'll talk about that drone situation, we'll work something out. We can do an exchange program, drone for merch. So Kim Drescher says that in a few years there'll be a whole line of Hellbent Holler equipment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's actually something we talked about eventually because we do kind of fashion our own stuff together. And after I'm a serial skill collector in a way. Eventually I'm going to get a 3D printer and start actually manufacturing these little units for this beacon thing. Eventually we want to start doing that. So we'll start building our own equipment and eventually, we'd use ghost stop equipment for some stuff, but we need it applied to cryptid research. Yeah. So a lot of the ghost stuff we use, we repurpose. It's made for people like that are indoors. Yeah. And it's just and that's got its own set of difficulties, but we need like rugged stuff. I'm surprised we have not broken more than what we have done. Rick had asked here, if you ever see a portal opening or closing, I wonder what it would look like through a thermal. What we saw that night, that light on that hilltop that opened up, it's in that burning light video, showed up on thermal. It was pumping out heat like you wouldn't believe. And again, people always do when they hear that, they go, it was a camping lantern. And I'm going, well, no, the whole purpose of a camping lantern is to light crap up around you. That's why you light it, so you can see around you. This didn't light anything up. Camping lanterns also don't grow in size and then don't take off and disappear. So, but what we saw was giving off heat. So, Chris Norton had asked, have you ever ran into any other cryptid hunters on your journeys? No, we have not actually. We rarely run into anybody at all because we don't really go to like camping areas or hiking areas. We were on old forestry roads for days. And we did not, like this past weekend, and we didn't see a single vehicle up there. Nothing at all. There's one road that's on the outskirts that's probably in the best condition that you occasionally see like Jeepers on because they can drive their Jeeps down it and feel like they're outdoors and not really get stuck. But the rest of them, we had to turn around like 3 times because we were going, all right, we're going to get, these roads aren't maintained at all. But we have never ran into any cryptid hunters before. We've never, and I've even thought about that before one time. I can't remember why, just going, what if we turn around a corner and then there's like another group of weirdos with like stuff, like dangling off of them. It's going to be like sharks and jets, Yeah, right. A dance number. So anyway, JD Smooth asked, when in that area, is it more cryptids or more paranormal, do you think? I don't know. I don't think there's a delineation between the two. I don't think where one ends and the other one begins. I think that there's a lot of bleed over there because I think a lot of people think of cryptids as just like a physical
animal type thing, that
Mhm.
these things are just some sort of unknown animal in the woods. But a lot of these exhibit behavior and abilities that are beyond just a natural animal. For example, you have the fact that people say that some Sasquatch can sense IR, can see IR. There's no animals that can see IR.
Animals, somebody had mentioned that vampire bats have little sensor organs around their nose, their big flat noses, that can detect heat almost like a pit viper can. Okay. But guess what? Your hand can detect heat as well. You know what I'm saying? If you put it next to a stove that's on, it's just very sensitive, and it's around their nose, because what's beneath their nose is their mouth, and that's how they feed. So they use that to find blood-bearing vessels on mammals when
just
they feed
looking for a
off them.
hot meal.
He's looking for a hot meal. So, but as far as being able to see in it, no warm-blooded creature should be able to see.
And then you've got, you know, people talking about cloaking, people talking about mind speak, people talking about the use of electromagnetic waves, the use of infrasound. That's a big debate that goes on. And it's, so I think that there's a lot of crossover between the paranormal and the cryptid world. I don't think it is either or. It's not woo or flesh and blood. I think this is something completely different and completely unknown to us, something that we have no grasp on whatsoever.
Todd Hall, thank you for that. $25. Maybe this will help towards a drone or whatever you need. If we got a drone coming our way, trust me, I have a list. I was going over the list with Jessi earlier, because usually we each have like a delineation of stuff. Coming up with like new equipment's usually my gig. Hardcore research is like her gig. And then she gets kind of like the more spooky side of stuff. And then I'm like the stuff that wires go into. But yeah, thank you very, very much for that. We greatly, greatly appreciate that. So some of the other stuff here, off the cuff links have also mentioned, I never realized the prep you guys do and the kit you carry until you show us sometimes.
Yeah.
We were packing and charging and cleaning stuff until about a half hour before we went on today. It's like, it was like all afternoon just going through and doing it. I even said, and it's funny because that ties into the other comment, you do need a tech team.
Yeah.
I said the exact same thing today. I was just going, man, we need like a team of people to do this.
I told him, I was like, we need like an intern. We're going to hands off that intern.
Yeah,
we need like an intern or something, but I don't know. I don't think an intern would survive us. I think it would just be worse than Steve Zissou. I don't think an intern would survive hanging out with us. I think we're just stuck with each other.
Yeah, well, people say that all the time. They're like, you guys need to add more people in. And I'm just going, we got a weird dynamic going here. I don't know how many other people want to put up with this. I just thought it was funny. They suggested a forerunner. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
You know, and in addition to like the hard stuff, we've got the soft stuff too, in terms of, I spent half the day trying to update my video editing software and inloading some new packages for that. And because this next video that I come out with, the Equinox video, is going to be lots of bells and whistles. So I'm loading in all of my stuff for that. So there's just so many plates spinning when it comes to producing this as two people, but it's fun. And we're getting okay at it, you know.
I don't know who Ken King is. Ken King says a basic whistle will interfere with a low-level infrasound. A dog whistle is ultrasound. A dog whistle is higher than the human range of hearing. Infrasound is lower than the human range of hearing. There's not much that interferes with infrasound. And when I say not much, like walls, the ground, anything, there's really not a lot that will. It's a very low frequency wave, and low frequency waves travel through stuff. It's hard to shield against it. So no, a whistle wouldn't do anything to, an audible noise is not going to do anything to override or interfere with the inaudible sound waves that you're being hit with. So
have people used dog whistles and the LBLs that been
Martin Groves has used
Martin
one.
Groves, okay.
Martin Groves has that dog whistle he's blowing and running around blowing. So now, and I'm going to argue with this on this, Paul. Sensing IR, I don't think happens. Causing cameras to malfunction, that happens. We had that happen this weekend, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later. The cloaking thing I can't speak about. Scapegoats for lack of proof, I think. I think the sensing IR is a scapegoat for it. I don't think that's what's happening. Something's going on. I just don't think it's that. Just like I don't think infrasound is like the catch-all thing for anything weird that goes on out there. But
that's why we had the equipment built to eliminate that.
Camera malfunction stuff was painfully obvious this past weekend.
And frustrating.
And very frustrating. Ray asked, could the boom sounds be part of a portal opening and closing. I don't know, maybe. I mean, the area that we're in right now, there's those weird mystery booms, and we've heard them again. Those have been heard. Somebody was just going, oh, it's explosives that the government's using. And I'm going, these have been reported since before there was a government, or really even before there were explosives, before TNT was developed or gunpowder introduced into this country. So I don't know, possibly. I think that, I don't know. The booms I know are legit sounds because we've caught them on audio and film before. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's a possibility. So all right.
Make sure you guys hit that like button. That way we get them likes, kid. Fishing for likes.
Chris Lindbergh had a good idea. Ask artificial intelligence if there's a grant to fund your cryptid research or infrasound in the woods being used by animals. I would not be surprised if there was funding for this by the government. It's free money. Kyle from Encrypted Connections and I have talked about that in the past. That just but that there's no money to kind of bolster this sort of like investigations or research. But in the past you've heard about how what's his name? Robert Bigelow, the guy that did
Skinwalker Ranch
and all that. He's hotel magnate. I can't remember the hotel chain he started up, but he's like a billionaire. He was trying to give money to like UFO groups to like fund their research, and they were all just such a just
shit
shows that he eventually just went, screw this, I'm going to start my own thing. So I'm sure that even if there was
that's
money,
when he hired Colm Kelleher
and all those guys to get in.
He had like a task force that could be dispatched within a certain area. They were based in Las Vegas, and they could receive a call from Utah and be there in less than 24 hours. If there was like a cattle mutilation, or if there was some sort of incident, he could dispatch a team like 24/7 to go to these locations. But that's when you have a billionaire who has
here's the deal.
Passion project.
He tried to do that with other groups to put them to that level, and there was just so much greed and infighting and all that he just walked away.
Yeah.
DGTYLE Radio, DJ Tile Radio. It came from the Paranormal Roundtable. Really enjoyed your content. Thank you. We had a ball on that interview.
We had a lot of fun on that interview.
It was cool to sit around and talk to a bunch of people that think about it as much as we do and put as much thought into it and have like original
really think about
theories. And just when they were bringing up like, well, do you think that maybe this happens in caves? And I'm just going, you guys think about this like all the time. It is awesome. So it was cool to sit around, and it wasn't just a normal.
It's one thing that drives me crazy is when I do podcast or interviews, and it's the person doing the podcast or interview. And this is part of why we're not really doing any more of these. We'll definitely do something with Paranormal Roundtable because that was an actual conversation.
It was amazing.
I'm to hear with the who are you? And
tell us what you do.
And they've never watched any of my videos. They've never looked at anything. They just want me on their show, and it's like, let's have a real conversation. I think the introductions can be really brief, but the conversation needs to be wider so that we can have a greater discussion here. I think that's what was really great about going on Paranormal Roundtable is that it was a real free-form discussion, and we had an exchange of ideas.
Brian Wickfield's asking if anybody else is having trouble with the live chat. If anybody's having trouble with the chat, throw it in there and let me know. But Henry White asks, are you guys using solar batteries to help power your gear? Wish I had not packed them away. We've got like ammo cans filled with like backup battery chargers, and we have 4 of them that have solar screens on there. And then we have a box of just regular solar panels that we can hook up to those and charge when we're out for extended period of times. But we're set up to the point now that, and we were in the LBL for days, you know what I'm saying? And did not run out of backup battery chargers. So we're pretty well prepared on that at this point, but we do have solar panels to hook up to them just in case that is something that we need. So,
but that's a slow charge when you're trying to use a solar panel to recharge something.
Cheryl asks, so everyone, the 23rd or 24th of September, what happened? Everybody was claiming something was going to happen. Only thing it did was that the Osiris Rex came in down in Utah. I think that was part of a satellite or something that collapsed. But Yeah, there was supposed to be like the rapture.
There was all kinds of internet rumors about it. That's also why we wanted to do it, the initial experiment on this weekend, because of the significance of Equinox. And then there was all this energy, like all this mental energy going into the 23rd, where all of these people have been talking about, oh, this crazy stuff's going to happen. So, sometimes you can kind of try to piggyback on that tulpa effect, and maybe it can throw some energy out into the universe and cause something to happen, maybe, or something to manifest. So we thought this would be a good opportunity for us to deploy the beacon for the first time out in the field in a real way. And we had some results.
We had something happen.
We had some weird results, but we're going to deploy that again. But yeah, and I'll have all of that in that Equinox video. You can see our entire our evening investigation on that one day. Will definitely be included in that, and that should be released hopefully this week, this week or early next week. But it's we wanted to take advantage of that whole internet hype thing, because that's like with a tulpa, you got a lot of mental energy going into something. You don't know if it's an actual thing that's happening or if it's something that the collective unconscious is manifesting.
So, Ray wanted to know if there's been any documented cattle mutilations in our research areas. Yeah, it's one area that we're getting into later on in the year, but yes, there has been at this point. What else do we got here? We were on, I guess there's a show called This Week in Bigfoot. I was not familiar with it. Grace had let us know that we were mentioned on This Week in Bigfoot.
Yeah, that was really
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting us know about that, Grace. I'm not familiar with it just because we don't watch a lot of YouTube, unfortunately, but that's pretty cool. So, along with the cattle mutilations, Slick Vic wanted to know if any researchers ever go missing while researching in the woods. You hear many people throughout the years go missing who hike and camp. I don't know of any. Well, I'll take that back.
I mean,
there was that guy off Reddit who was looking into that conspiracy.
Yeah.
Let's not mention it, but who died while doing it. There was a guy from Reddit. There was a conspiracy that was being discussed online that we were a part of looking into it because of our proximity to the area. And then apparently somebody from, it wasn't Reddit, it was 4chan. Somebody off 4chan, because 4chan, one of the 4chan subgroups was discussing it. And
that one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a different one. Okay.
Yeah, remember the guy went and he disappeared, and he was dead, his dog was dead, and they burned his truck.
Yeah.
So they don't know we don't know if he just encountered some
It was shortly after that we dropped the case completely.
We dropped that case completely. So, but other than that, I don't know of any. I don't know of any like actual Bigfoot researchers that have gone missing doing it or anything like that. So, all right. So let me keep going. I had some more cool stuff. Starred.
This is funny. Dalton Guthrie says, just tuned in. Monday nights are my favorite. Glad Poison Oak is clearing up, and Joe doesn't have any Essie wounds yet. I can't wait to see what y'all do next. Yeah, I haven't been violent.
Can you tell us what time you did the experiment? We'll tell that later. We had a couple of times that some people helped us work out that would be of significance to doing it. And what was that supposed to help with, like an energy thing or not? We were doing it on the Equinox. It is of itself very culturally important.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every culture that's figured out, to be able to predict, the phase of the stars, it's culturally important. So with the fall equinox, it's basically, if you look into the folklore of it, it's that, it's the war of the Oak King and the Holly King. It's where summer and all that and light starts to lose power, and it starts to be the ascendancy of the dark and all that. So, so that was significant. And then there was so much discussion about the 23rd. There was so much mental energy being focused on the 23rd that we just thought that this was going to be a very significant time to go out and try some stuff.
Yeah.
Whether that was successful or not.
Usually you want to jump on any kind of energy wave that's coming out for something. And you've got, in terms of astrology, you've got the equinox and everything. You've got the numerology, the 23rd, 23, 23, and all of that, you know, repetitive number sequences. So, you know, you just kind of put all that together and it kind of puts a little target over a time period.
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
Coming in strong again this week. So, I love this. Thank you so much for that, Marcus. We really appreciate it. We really, really will have our tax information for you so you can claim us on your taxes.
As dependents,
As dependents in the end of the year. Monday Night Football. When are y'all hooking up with Seth Breedlove? That will be, there's not been a time set as of yet. I don't even know if we'll be able to announce ahead of time when it's done. Just because, again, people have a tendency in the LBL to mess with you when you're out there trying to do anything. There's a lot of jealousy that goes on with this sort of stuff. And we have our own detractors who try to want to throw a monkey wrench and stuff, and Seth has his. So we'll probably, after we're done, go, hey, we were in the, you know, I'm sure you'll see some photos or something like that, but you may not hear about it any time before that. But thank you for that, Marcus. So
we also don't know like what kind of restrictions we're going to be on in terms of discussing.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
occurs
So
for their project.
I'm
looking through here. I've started a couple if you want to throw them up.
Oh, let me pull them all up. So what will you be doing next? I'm honestly glad nothing did happen. Thank you, guys. We had some stuff happen. We're still reviewing footage to kind of try to see if we can get a grasp on what happened with it.
But it's a weird like variety of things that happen. It's a weird variety. It's a weird variety. It's a mixed bag. But what we've experienced up in that area has been a mixed bag at this point, because every time we go up there, we find evidence of human activity, like occult activity going on up there. Every time we go up there, there is some sort of like weird paranormal thing that happens that is definitely not human and definitely not man-made. So we've not been in that area for a long time. We've been kind of changing up what we do, and we've kind of let that area lie dormant for a little bit. We got that crazy portal thing opening up there, that thing in the trees that is still a hot debate button there. But we've gotten all kinds of weird stuff up there, and we let it lie for so long. We went back and kind of checked it out.
Our friend Ghetto Yeti just popped in. Hi, everyone. I'm super late. My grandma is going to die. So all prayers,
I'm sorry,
blessings are accepted. We are so sorry, man. That is terrible.
Yeah, that sucks.
That is terrible. I hope everybody out there takes a moment to put some thoughts and some good energy out to you and your family. I know that's not easy. But I hope everything goes as smoothly as possible, and maybe there's a miracle in the wings waiting to come out. I hope everything's all right with that, my friend.
Yep.
So, all right. So, what is this? Daniel goes, so whenever you go into the woods to hunt, you can't live video it? No, we can't. We can't live video, and the majority of the places we go to have no cell signal. If we're on a high enough rise and that cell signal is able to grab some signal, we can stream from around that. But that's also a lot of stuff to hike through the woods. So that has to be near somewhere where we can drive up and then ferry that back and forth. And is there something better but cost a lot of money besides the tower thing your friend lets you use? I don't know. I don't know if I'm sure there's something that costs a lot of money. Steve was extremely generous and spent a lot of time and money getting us set up with this, but I'm sure that there's stuff out there that, like, professional news stations and whatnot use.
But this is a great step in the right direction. But that's a great step in the right direction. It's I don't think anybody else is using this kind of tech for it. So.
Yep. So
I start some.
Yep. Pyrometic asked, settle for a Hellbent Holler shirt for now. When can we get one? We will probably. Let me go over a lot of this. There's issues with that because we tried, what was the name of that place? Teespring to put some Hellbent Holler stuff up, and the quality was terrible. And we weren't really making any money off of it. And it was just up there for people to do. And people were just constantly contacting us going, I got this janky t-shirt. I'm going,
yeah.
Dude, it didn't
so we took down.
We took it down. So we've got a guy who makes our shirts by hand the Hellbent Holler shirts you see, but they're not cheap. And
yeah, because he uses a high quality t-shirt. They're the real soft, thin, really nice t-shirts.
But they're not
screen
cheap.
prints every single one. Because we prefer to support small businesses for people we know. This guy supports his family off of this screen printing business that he started. So we prefer that. We've got the Stitch Witch D of the D Inducer fame. She does the embroidery on our hats. We don't want to order this stuff from a mass company. We don't want to order this from big companies. We want to support the people we know. We know where it comes from, and we know that the money is supporting good people. You know what I'm saying? So with that comes cost.
It ain't cheap. So here's the deal. We'd put them up and people would go, what in the hell are you doing? Are you guys trying to rip us all off? So there's that. There's the other thing too, is that the time that's involved. I know we sound like a broken record, but
packing, and shipping.
And then doing all that. So we are thinking about just maybe doing a pre-order on this.
Yeah.
So that we go, who wants a shirt? Let us know. Don't yell at us about the price, because we ain't getting rich doing this. And we would then get those made to order and then shipped out. We're thinking about doing that.
So it would be a pre-order kind of situation on that. I think we're going to be taking some shirts with us in October.
Mm-hmm.
In October, we're going to be at Montgomery Bell State Park, October 14th and 15th. I'll be speaking at the Tennessee WILDMAN and Cryptid Con. I'll be speaking before Ron Moorhead on Saturday. So if you guys want to come out that Saturday and listen to me babble about field researching high strangeness and all this weird stuff in the woods, I'll definitely be doing that. And Ron Moorhead will be coming on after me. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a panel discussion involving us, Ron Moorhead, and everybody else who spoke that day. So I'm really looking forward to that, sharing the stage with somebody like Ron Moorhead, who's been a big influence on what we do. He's like the original cryptid adventurer.
Yeah. Barton Nunley calls him Indiana Jones. Indiana is his new nickname. So
yeah, but I'm going to throw an order into Jacob for t-shirts. Yeah. So we'll have some t-shirts at that event, and I'll have some pint glasses too. I know a lot of you like those pint glasses that we've got. We've got engraved Hellbent Holler pint glasses that we give out.
A friend of ours made those up for us. Just went, hey, I made y'all some glasses up to give away or do whatever. And I was just going, that's just weird. And then we took them somewhere, and everybody went everybody crazy over them, man.
And everybody uses them too. I have everybody that has one is I use the Hellbent Holler glass all the time. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stickers and all that stuff too. We'll have all kinds of stuff when we come up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to merch like t-shirts, I think we're going to do a pre-order on that. And I think that's the easiest way to handle it. That way we don't have, we know what number of each size to get. So I don't have a stack of t-shirts in my house, because we have equipment literally freaking everywhere as it is. So I don't want to be a merch storage room as well.
Somebody had mentioned that foxes could see an infrared. The last I saw was that they thought that foxes could sense it, but not necessarily see in that spectrum. But they thought that there might be a chance, but then I never heard anything else on it. So anybody's got any actual studies that they can show me that just aren't somebody going, we think? I would love to see it. So let's see what else we got here now.
Bill Evans has something about infrared. Oh, that was that. Yeah. All right. I'm way behind.
Marcus had asked something about the whole jealousy thing. Aren't we all striving for the same objectives? Yeah, you would think. You would think. And we're of the token that I don't care if we agree with somebody or not. We might disagree. Like I said, there might be people out there. Somebody mentioned that fox thing. If that's been proven as of this point, that there are creatures that can actually see infrared light, not sense it, not do anything, not sense just heat, see an infrared light that could be used to avoid trail cams like they've always claimed that Sasquatch could do. If a higher order primate or something like that could use that, then I'll go, I was wrong. Right now, I'm not seeing where that's been proven, and I don't think that's possible. But here's the deal. If you disagree with me, knock yourself out. Try to explore something along your pet theories. Who knows until the end? But a lot of people get very, 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 very if you don't agree with their theory, that means that you're not telling them how great they are. And let's just be honest, a lot of people get into this just to hear how great they are. So that's the sad truth. Dead End Yard Hot had mentioned that we need a satellite phone. We carry a satellite texter.
Yeah.
We carry a Garmin InReach
Mini.
Mini.
The Garmin InReach Mini. It's a satellite communication device. We use that. That is an emergency device because where we go, we've mentioned this ad nauseum, but where we go, we don't have cell signal, and it's just the two of us. So if something happens, we can't call for help. So we got the Garmin InReach Mini, and we have a subscription plan so that if something catastrophic happens, I can always call for help with that. And I send messages. You see this in the videos a lot, that I send messages to somebody at home. I stay in contact with somebody, that way they know that where we're at, they can see us on the map, and they can track us, because we are in pretty dangerous areas when we do this kind of work.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a human element, sometimes it's a cryptid element, sometimes it's just a physical danger of being out in the woods and being in these places. One weird thing this weekend over our adventures, I did not let our home base person know that we made it out of the woods alive. So I was in trouble for that.
Got that phone call going. I was about ready to send the cops out. So,
yeah. So and I never forget to do that. Something was real off this weekend. So you guys get to see me kind of lose my mind a little bit because something was real wacky.
Yeah, something was wacky.
Something was real wacky.
Marcus Aurelius, thank you again. Marcus Aurelius coming in hot again, as usual, hopping in hot. Martin is speaking on Sundays. It's going to be on YouTube. I don't think that the conference promoter is going to stream it to YouTube. I don't think so.
Now, I'm going to talk to the organizer. I'm going to talk to the event organizer and see what his thoughts are. In the future, I have an idea for something. This one, I'm not going to do it because I don't have the infrastructure in place. And I'll tell you guys about what I want to do, because I think you guys will like it. But for this event, I am going to record it. I record all of my presentations. I am going to record it. And I might put that on our YouTube. I'm not sure, or might make it available somehow.
Yeah, we'll be limited because obviously he's incurring a great deal of cost to put this on. And he wants people to come
show up
and buy tickets and support it.
But it won't be streamed.
So I don't think he will, but like I said, they might allow us to film ours, and maybe even, we'll have to see. I don't know. That would obviously be up to the promoter and then up to Martin Groves and whether he wanted to do that or not. So
yeah, right now I'm working on putting together a plan and putting the infrastructure in place to doing sort of a subscription model where you're going to get, exclusive content and lots of extra content. And some of that will possibly include live streams from events that will be for members only. And I won't host it on YouTube. I'm going to be hosting it separately on my own app and my own spot. So that's something that we've discussed. And that's something I'm going to discuss with future event promoters, that after I go to doing a subscription model, in addition to the YouTube, that we would stream that to members. So if you couldn't make it to an event, there would be a live stream of my talk at these events.
Yeah. So
are you that exhausted? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Somebody said you look tired.
This
earlier.
was a rough week, man. This
Yeah.
was a rough week. So this was a rough week doing this stuff, man. I felt like really achy like afterwards. Like my joints hurt, my hips hurt. I just felt like drained and everything was achy. And I'm going, am I like fighting like a flu bug or something? And it sounds cheesy, but I'm just laying there and I'm aching so bad that I just literally I was like, all right, don't think I'm crazy, to Jessi. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to check my boots and my backpack for residual radiation. And I'm going, that's all clear. So I don't know, man, but I felt like just crap afterwards. It was rough. It was not an enjoyable weekend, what we do. So especially, and we've talked about this in the past, that we're going to do the research aspect of this stuff and the investigations regardless. YouTube adds a level of complexity to that because not only we're trying to record all the time to kind of give an accurate representation of what we're going through and what we're experiencing, right? So that means a lot of times we're navigating through the woods by like a 2-inch screen. You know what I'm saying? And we're not on a hiking trail or anything like that. So
yeah, I got yelled at a couple times this week.
I was like, slow down. I'm trying
now.
Somebody had mentioned even a comment like shortly after we got back, they were going, God, that girl walks fast. And I'm going, oh, I'm well aware.
You have no idea.
You have no idea. So
Grace W said, am I the only one who thinks Joe deserves some recognition for the good he is doing tonight?
Thank you, every night, Grace. That's okay though. We'll let
so
that slide.
good.
So good.
And
so
no
good.
one you know said, Joe's doing a great job.
You know what? I am doing a pretty good job.
Doing a great job.
You know what? I think I'm pulling it out. So Mike A is telling me that aspirin and fish oil. You familiar with fish oil for the old bones and joints?
All right.
Remember that.
I've got him on glucosamine and chondroitin.
I need to up that up. So
I gotta keep my old man running here. I'm all roided up and you're falling
apart, man. Check for ticks feeling that way. You know what? You might need to do a little tick check on me. Although at this point it's too late.
It's too late. He's done for. I had a tick on me the other, like about a week ago, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm getting it. I swear I'm getting it. We were on PRT the other night and Josh was like, I'm not going out in the woods. There's ticks out there. And I was like, you have no idea what I've endured over the past couple of weeks, what horrors I have seen.
Ticks, chiggers, poison ivy twice.
Yeah. Uwari, we went to the Uwari. We did our live streams from there. I have some footage for there. I don't know if I'm going to release it. I just released that short though. That is that Uwari cemetery at night through thermal. I thought that looked really dope. So I put that up for you guys to check out. It's really neat. But at the Uwari, and I'm pretty sure it was in that cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
At the Uwari, we got chiggers really bad. We were covered in chigger bites. So it took us like a week or two to get over that. And then I get the poison ivy. And then I had a tick. I'm ready to call it.
Boy, I'm getting a lot of.
Joe's doing a very good job.
Look at that. You know what? You're fired. I'm just going to do this show from now on. Lady Wolf had asked if we would do a knife check. So
sure.
I had to fight mine out of my pocket. I'm carrying a Cold Steel Talwar XL. I don't usually carry this in the woods. I carry some of the XL folders when I can't carry like a fixed blade with me. This is just ridiculously large.
And you know how Joe and I have small and large versions of everything. Because we like to just be matchy, but I'm the little one. I have a Talwar. He has the XL. This is a regular Talwar.
Cut each other, but
you mean to do it this way?
Yes.
This way? That way?
That's not forced perspective. This knife is actually just that much larger.
Yeah. So, but I have the regular Talwar. It's a really cool blade. But yeah, these are Cold Steel Talwars.
Miranda Cruz, do you guys care if someone sent you a money order or check? We would not. Yes, that would not offend us, if somebody wanted to support what we are doing in that way. But again, do not
ever put yourself out on anything.
Put yourself out short. At the end of the day, we're just a couple of weirdos on YouTube. Don't put yourself in a position. But if people want to support the search, we
fund the hunt.
Fund the hunt is what we call it.
I think that was the phrase I came up with.
Yeah, fund the hunt. So Martin's dropping it on me, boy. Epic, good, great job every night. There you go, man. Now all of a sudden, look at this, man. Now I'm feeling better.
I think we need to probably.
I think I was just suffering from a lack of attention, is what.
Yeah, that's what it was. Are you feeling rejuvenated?
I feel rejuvenated. I could throw in a backpack and go out right now.
Joe actually checked himself with a Geiger counter.
I did. I told him that. I checked my boots and my backpack.
I was reading something. I didn't even say it. Yeah.
I checked myself with that. So Marcus asked if we did a knife check. Did that comment just come through? Was he just here? We've done it since then.
Yeah.
Marcus is funding this damn operation. We got to make sure he's taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get another knife.
Everything he needs. Yeah. Well, yes. So, meandering around says you guys did a great job on PRT. It was a good. Here's the deal: is that it's like we mentioned earlier. It's just cool to sit and talk to people who think about this stuff, and it's not just repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. When they started going, do you think that maybe some of these things come out of the ground? They're subterranean not because they live there, but they're coming through portals, and portals are easier to open up underground because of mineral radiation and everything like that. And I'm going. Got some people that put some thought into this, man.
I was like, this is some big brain energy.
Big brain energy. I mean, we're not the only ones who lay on our bed staring at the ceiling at night going, I know I need to sleep and I need to be at work in like 6 hours, but I wonder if,
Or like we were out in the woods and we were looking at that spider web and I was like, Joe, film this so I may remember this.
Yeah, you were talking about how there's a spider, those what are they?
Gyro
spiders, those Chinese spiders that are all over the South right now. They're huge. They spin these multi-layered webs. It's not just a single web. It's like
a cathedral of webs.
A cathedral of webs, and it's hard to focus on the spider because the camera is constantly wanting to focus on
I kept trying to take a picture
the web, and she's going, maybe that's why Sasquatch, you can't get you only get blurry photos. Maybe there's something between it and its body
that's like reflecting the light back.
That's making you focus on that and not the Sasquatch itself. So anyway.
Big brain, big boob energy.
There we go, man. So
they did get a kick out of that dating show idea that was pitched at me too, didn't
the dating show was just, you haven't gotten any of those in a while. You haven't gotten any just crazy.
I think because I was like, I'm married, leave me alone.
And none of these like really crazy.
The cringe.
Cringy stuff. So I was going to tell you earlier, Eric Peter Vasquez showed back up.
Hello, Eric Peter Vasquez.
You remember Eric?
Yes.
Yes. So Dogman in the Woods. So. All right. Dr. Young 77 had asked earlier, wonder what you're packing defense wise. We go armed. We carry 10 millimeters. We carry 12 gauges sometimes. We just don't, you're not going to see us flashing weapons
on the channel.
On this channel. A, it's not safe to really be flashing them a lot. But B, it's just, we just don't flash them a lot. If we draw our sidearms or something like that, because it's makes sense in the context of what we're doing to share that. We'll put that in the video, but otherwise we don't really show
I get creative with my kind of cuts sometimes with it because I don't want to include like full on because YouTube's a little weird. So, again, this is why there's going to be a bit of an expansion to something that's going to be a little more uncensored and a little more free form that will be available. What?
I just said thank you, Paul. I said I was a rock star.
Something we're gonna offer something that's gonna be a little more uncensored and freeform, and if that we'll still do YouTube, but we're gonna also offer more because we are having to bite our tongues about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Not today. I gotta message you when we get off here. So check your messages later on if you were not already gone. Everybody, look at that. Now
I feel like I need to print up the chat and cut them out and then frame all these comments.
Just wallpaper the house in them. You know what I'm saying? So
for you.
Wallpaper the house around them. So
Joe's boost board for the day.
Less than a god, but more than a man.
Oh
there we go.
God.
And we're getting poetic with it. So
all right.
Steve Causey, congratulations. Yeah, we broke 13,000.
Yes, we did.
We're on our way to 14,000. And then the world. But it we've got a lot of good growth over the past year, and that was not anything that we really ever concerned ourselves with, but now we're seeing the value in having a bigger expansion of people that are involved in this, and just because we get more people, to bounce ideas off of, to share stuff with.
People who have different areas of expertise, I think is very handy because we have such a wide and vast and varied audience.
Yeah.
We've just got so many people that watch the show and enjoy the show who have all kinds of weird skills and perspectives.
Ben Foil Hat. I was listening to you on PRT. You were discussing a portal and you captured it on video. That is a released video. Go to our channel when you're done here. It's called a burning light.
Yep.
Because we weren't quite sure what to call it. It's not. We don't know if it was
I call it a portal.
I think it was almost like a UAP, like living plasma or something like that, opening up. But when we got out of there, that one of the things I said when we were getting back home, I was like, it was just like this burning light hovering in the air.
Yeah.
That's what it just stuck with for it. But yeah, look for a burning light, and that's got the footage of that night and what we experienced there. Treadmill Tales was what they would have called that.
No.
Do some marketing for the network, man. So Surreal Team 6. That is awesome. Write that down. Pork Chop Express. If we use that, we will credit you with it. There's a person on YouTube called Pork Chop Express.
I've got something else that somebody said earlier.
Team 6.
I've got something I wrote down that somebody said in the chat earlier I don't remember who it was. You'll know who you are because you said it. But it would be a really freaking cool t-shirt idea.
It's cool.
Cryptid bent and hellbound.
That's pretty cool. So, all right. Marcus, you carry Dogman spray. We carry a small container of Fox Labs pepper spray. Fox Labs is like insanely painful to get hit with. We don't carry full on pepper spray. I mean, bear spray, but we are going to add some to the mix. We were talking about.
There is a Mystery Ranch bear spray holster that matches my backpack.
Yeah, it's got to match, man.
So,
it's got to match.
It's
Just Paranormal. Don't forget to like and share the stream, guys. Otherwise, the Wendigo will haunt Jessi and Joe on their next investigation.
Well, that would make good TV, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. Get haunted by the Wendigo.
And then we get our flesh ripped from our bones.
Mm-hmm. So
that's a bummer.
The fact that we carry concealed keeps everyone thinking, yeah, you've seen us draw from our chest rigs before. That's what those things are for.
When we got bluff charged, you did it. And then
when those things were in the trees, man, and still people give us crap for that. I'm going, listen, man, I mean, the woods are noisy at night sometimes, but you can see that on the video. The stuff falls in front of the camera screen and I look up and there's something big and black moving in the treetops. Maybe it was just I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was that big. Maybe there's an escaped chimp running around up there, and then there's people running around.
I like your explanation.
But there was something in the friggin' trees up
like
there.
The LBL kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's just because I don't ever want to be that person who just has something weird happen, and then I just bust out with a full blown narrative. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Dogman clan coming from beneath the earth.
Where the Sasquatch roam, Taco Bell or Del Taco? I've never had Del Taco.
I had some in New Orleans because they opened one up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Near Delgado. Mm-hmm. And it was nightmarishly terrible. It was awful.
So Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, but we're on a Taco Bell hiatus for now. Yeah. So we just go to our local Mexican place that we love to go to.
Cryptid Castleberry. We need a helmet holler hootenanny con complete with a knife show and a tick removal technique workshop.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, show notes.
Mm-hmm.
We would have the coolest conference, I think.
Mm-hmm. Chris Norton had asked a question earlier that I started and I never got to it. Sorry, Chris. Question for you both. What do you think of the other people who do what you guys do on YouTube? I don't think that there's really anybody that does exactly what we do, and that's not talking smack. There are people that do like Bigfoot investigations. There are people that do like haunted house type stuff. Mm-hmm. There's people that do like just free ranging shows like we're doing here on a Monday night, but I don't think there's really anybody out there that does exactly what we do. There might be, you know what I'm saying? Exactly what we do. As far as like people on YouTube, we have met some of the best. I can't say met in all cases. We have interacted with some of the absolute best people you could ever imagined and some of the worst people that you can possibly ever imagine. It is just very weird. Generally, when like other channels or whatever approach us, we try to be very gracious and everything like that. And but we get messages all the time. So-and-so channel was doing this or that. And I'm just, about you guys. And I'm just going, you're never going to tune in and have us go, okay, the topic of the show tonight is channel X and why we think that they're just full of crap. Nobody has time. We don't have time for that. So yeah, we met. What do you think about that? Would that be a fair assessment?
I think that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. I'm too busy. I am exhaustingly busy. Like I'm exhausted.
This is rough, man.
We're busy. We don't have time. We just don't have time. We did witness a little drama and got a little joy out of that because we were vegging out for a little bit. Yeah. We did have some pizza and cookies and veg out a little bit and relax for once, but we just don't have time.
Yeah.
I constantly, Joe has a list this long. I have a list this long, and we're both working on our stuff constantly. In addition to us both having full-time jobs, this is a full-time and a half job for both of us. So we just don't have time for it.
And real quick, Ben Foil Hat had said, thanks for the response. I'll check it out after this live. We can't get to everything in the live streams nowadays. They're too busy. Like we were floating over 300 people earlier. Some weeks we've had over 400 people. If it's something that you really want answered, you can email us. We're insanely behind on email, or leave a comment after we're done because we do try to, usually the YouTube comments are pretty brief, and we can throughout the day kind of get caught up on those. You know, we got the app on our phone. We'll go in and answer a few comments. But we do get to all the comments just because they're not as time consuming. A lot of the emails are very, very long, and they take time to read and then respond to. But if there's something that we don't answer that you really want done, when the live stream's done, hop into the comment section, leave it there, and we'll try to answer it as best we can. And then Super Bridges didn't have a question or comment at all. Just went, here's $10. Do with it as you will.
That's what you get.
Thank you very much for that, Sugar Bridges. Thank you so much.
That's some $10 moves.
That's the $10. Well, hold on, let's get that down. To see, there's $10 moves for you folks right there.
There you go. See,
that's a $10. That's a $10 move.
That's a $10 move.
It's a $10 move. So.
I know what you're referring to.
So.
Are you okay? Did you have a brain fart?
I was reading stuff here real quick. Off the cufflinks, it said, I created a Pinterest page for the show. If we all did that, you would get another 10,000 subscribers.
I started that because I don't know how to do that. I didn't know that was something we could do.
Is that something we can do? Is that, we're old people.
I'm also a woman. I should know how to use a Pinterest page.
Yeah, it's kind of like genetically ingrained at birth. So
I'll look into that. Show notes. I'll look into that because I have stuff I can do on it. Yeah, I'll look into that because I use Pinterest, but I just use it for recipes and then DIY projects for the house. Yeah. So,
Paul Puglia, do you snack on anything while you're out there all day long? Jessi's gonna eat beef sticks.
Trucker snacks only.
Trucker
snacks
all right,
only.
So we're out there and we have a box. And I mean, I should show the food box one night. We have a box, just like I'm talking. Kill that comment for me so that way people can see these hand gestures. Box. There we go. It's a giant box, like 3 feet by probably 2 feet. Just this storage container that we have that is just filled with nothing but like a stove, 2 cans of fuel. I don't even know how many like freeze-dried meals, individual freeze-dried meals we have.
And I got a variety too. I've got breakfast, lunch,
dinner, desserts, everything like that. Mm-hmm. We never end up using it because we're always just like, all right, we don't have time for this. So we always like end up eating out of our backpacks. I take like Fit Crunch bars and just, what are the standard bars that you get? The Quest bars.
Quest bars, Cliff Bars.
Cliff Bars and Fit Crunch bars are what I live off of.
Joe's a glutard.
Jessi lives off of Vienna sausages, no-name gas station beef sticks, hot sausages, hot pickles, and then boiled peanuts that she puts into like sandwich bags and takes out the way.
Yeah, so, I eat nothing but trucker snacks, and like I drink Monster energy drinks and eat trucker snacks. So I'm like a walking nitrate at this point.
Yeah, so that is it.
Yeah. But I love pickled sausages.
Bill Evans got a point. Congratulations on one. We hit 1 million views, 1 million times. 1 million times. People have sat there and gone,
I'm going to watch this.
I'm going to watch this. What are these people about? What's going on here? So yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Because again, we've only really had the channel has just grown over the past year, but it's just, it's just crazy. It's humbling. We're very humble. We're very humble people. Very humble people. Marcus, send us your address if you haven't already. Send a Christmas card.
We begged him.
And I don't think he ever answered. So, do you have any?
Hey, we ought to do a Christmas card this year.
We might do a Christmas card this year.
We ought to get. There's probably a thing where there's probably a form I can put on our thing, and people can input their addresses. And then I can generate a list, like a Christmas card list.
It's pretty classy, to be honest with you.
And then we'll do a Hellbent Holler Christmas card. I think that's. Show notes, everybody.
Christmas
card. We're we keep piling crap on that we want to do.
We got big plans. We got big vision, man.
Dreams,
We're
dreams.
Big vision people.
Christmas card. All right.
Marcus asked, do you have any theories on the 411 mystery? Cases are presented without any possible explanations presented. I get that, but still, for years. David, thank you for that again. David Paulides had said that he didn't want to posit an opinion because if he was wrong, that would kill his credibility. He wasn't 100% positive, and he said that his opinion would change as new information came in, and I think that was pretty good. If you paid attention to what he was talking about, and you've paid attention in the people he's associated with, you've paid attention to where his focus has kind of drifted to, I think it's pretty safe to say that I think that there's different causes for some of these cases, like we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, and some sort of interdimensional threat or phenomenon is what's causing this stuff. And I think that's where he's gone to a mix. And I think that ties into the UFO thing. You know what I'm saying? I think he thinks that some of these are UFO interdimensional related. Are those two separate phenomenon? Are they the same? Who knows at this point, but I think that's where he's gone to with it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that it's literally a case of people vanishing into thin air or being taken into thin air and disappearing.
Every time you say Taken, I think of my mom.
Taken.
My mom watched that movie Taken, and she called me, and she watched it, 5 or 6 years after it had been out. Yeah. My mother calls me and goes, "Oh my God, you and Joe have got to watch this movie. It's called Taken."
You think Jessi has a Southern accent?
She was taken.
Taken. She was taken.
Taken.
Daniel Calabrese stuck on this live hunting. We can't do it from most places. It's physically impossible with the technology that we have.
Yeah.
Even if we had Starlink, I think Starlink has to be somewhat stationary, and we don't have the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to do it where we can, but that's not going to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of times.
And the way that we do our investigations, if you have like a Starlink satellite connection or something like that, it's not mobile. The way we do our investigations is we're kinetic. We like to move. We like to move around.
I don't want to be stuck in one spot, because then if something happens and it's over there,
we got to go to it, you know, and you're not going to be able, it's just going to be more frustrating for the audience more than anything.
Yeah. So Robert Randolph, do you have people send you emails about recent cryptid sightings? We didn't until we started doing that South Carolina series, the Dark Corner series. And then bam, it's slowing down a little bit right now, but we were getting it hot and heavy for a while. But if anybody gets in that area, North Georgia, Western North Carolina,
mm-hmm.
upstate South Carolina, and you got something, drop it in that email address, Grace W. I think nobody else on YouTube is quite what's happening with Hellbent Holler. Well, it's because we didn't want to do the same old thing, man. I mean, there's value in people that collect accounts and stories. We talked about that on Paranormal Roundtable.
Yeah, of course.
They have more of a global view than we do, because they're getting in a lot of data with different stuff from different parts of the world. Mm-hmm. And they're able to take like an overview on it that we don't have. We want to be in the nuts and bolts minutia of actually physically going out there.
Yeah.
As long as you're legit doing it and not just having AI, artificial intelligence,
write everything
and just make up give me a Dogman story about Dogman attacking Boy Scouts, as long as you're legit doing something in it, like mapping stuff, taking witness reports, going out and physically investigating it, you're bringing value to this.
Maybe Park Rangers, Spoodles and Beans.
Yes. So, The Spot wanted to know, can you do a video on the tech y'all use sometime, please? We're in a bit of a flux on that right now, because we have always been, and this is mostly me, and it is, I don't care. It makes me look a little petty, and I don't care. But we spend a lot of
time and money
on this stuff, and mostly time.
Mm-hmm.
I work a full-time job, and then I come home, and then it's like 8 or 9 hours doing Hellbent Holler stuff. And then I get about 6 hours sleep, then it's back up the next day to do it all over again. And then on the weekends, it's all of this. If I take time off from work, it's all of this. So we would have people contact us all the time going, "Hey, I saw you using this. What is it?" And
we used to tell them exactly.
I used to tell them exactly what it was. Here's what you get. Here's how you hook it together. Here's what you do. Da 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 da. Let me know how it works for you. Then I'd never hear anything back out. And then I'd go, I wonder if they ever use that. And I'd go to a channel, and it'd be people going.
So I came up with this idea
to do this. And it happened like 3 times. And then I just went, you know what? No, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not telling. So people will go, "Hey, what is that?" And I go, "Figure it out, man. That's what I had to do." But we do need to do a video showing some of the tech that we're using.
I agree.
We have an old tech video. You got a different haircut. Everything like that.
That was the video. I think the intro for that video reminds me of the intro of it looks like it's supposed to be like a weird punk rock porno thing, because it's like do 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 do, and then the text comes up. It's very misleading with the video. It's like a tech video. I hate that intro. I first started out doing video editing. It is not great. So the intro is terrible. I have a completely different haircut. I think I'm like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
But I have short hair. But we don't even have that loadout anymore. We don't do.
We
that
got some
loadout.
of the same stuff, but we need to do an updated one. Meandering around. I love your approach with your videos. It's like cryptid vlogging style. Remember, Jessi always talks about back when like Vice was like cool, and they were going into like, you know, Chernobyl and stuff like that.
They were going into like war zones
with just stuff that they could smuggle across the border in their backpacks. And then they were doing like documentary film stuff. Back when Vice was cool, she's always like, that's what we want to be, like a cool cryptid Vice back when, before they got like, you know, whatever they are now. He wants to know, what editing system do you use?
And that's why, and I mentioned this on Paranormal Roundtable. This is my whole goal for this, is to be raw, real, and dangerous, because that's what it is. I think that puts you in the moment, that brings you along with us into the woods. You can be out there, you can feel the fear, you can feel just the terror and the intrigue and everything, and it's exciting. And the way I present it, I hope makes you feel like you're there with us.
And the whole idea is to take like sometimes like a 2 or even a 3-day investigation and distill it down to the parts. Because when we're out there, it's not just bam, 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 cool stuff, cool stuff, cool stuff. Sometimes there's no cool stuff at all. As far as like interesting out of the ordinary stuff. But Jessi tries to give an accurate representation and hit the high points.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, it's got to draw you in and be entertaining at the same time. So that's why I'm just like, bam, 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 bam. But we have hundreds of hours of footage of not interesting crap. But anyway, back to the system that I use. I started out on whatever came on my laptop, and then I graduated to some terrible Chinese thing that I deleted off of my system because it was terrible. I finally bit the bullet and got Adobe Premiere Pro. That's the gold standard when it comes to video editing. I'm not a Mac person, so I don't use any kind of Mac stuff. So if you want to do video editing, I say stop trying to mess around. Adobe is a monthly subscription, so you do have to pay. I pay every month to use Adobe Premiere Pro, but that's what most people in the industry use. And I figured, let's just start, and I've had to teach myself how to use it. I've had to teach myself how to edit. I actually just purchased some expansion pack for Premiere Pro, so the videos are going to get better. But it's worth the time and the effort and the money to have a better product with better support.
So there you go. And Stingray was in a band called The Pickles. His stage name was Sweet Gherkin.
I had to star that.
Oh God.
You all right?
Ray threw you $9.99 for Jessi's Trucker Food Stash. A drop in the bucket, kind sir, as that's what that is.
Hot sausages are spicy, but they're quite good.
Well, then Martin had asked, thank you for that, Ray. Vienna sausages, regular or barbecue smoked? I don't know if he's saying that he'll eat both or asking what you prefer.
I think both is the answer to that. You know, sometimes you're in a barbecue mood. Sometimes you're feeling just classic.
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 Where was I? Chat's on fire tonight. So
Christopher Lineberry said he didn't know that they had extra flavors until this year.
Get out from underneath that rock, Christopher Lineberry.
Welcome to the future, old man.
So, here we go. Mike A. If you had to choose, cross an acre of this is going to be a good one. Cross an acre of tall grass full of ticks, chiggers, and poison ivy in your swimsuits, or encounter a pissed off, hungry dog man, but you get the firearm of your choice. Dogman with a firearm of my choice.
I'll take the Dogman too.
The Dogman, the firearm.
Because I'm having a struggle.
At the end of the day, that's what we're out there for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And B, if we bag it.
Yeah.
And we can make it
C,
back.
if I just get killed, it's all over. That's fine. I'm not struggling with this.
somebody look for SD cards and big piles of like Dogman crap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that, Mike.
I think I said that to you one time. I was like, as long as they find the SD card, we're okay.
When we were on Night Callers Radio,
yeah,
said the exact same thing. She goes, as long as they find the SD cards, my death won't be in vain. And I'm going, you and Jessi are going to get along like a house on fire. Thank you for that, Mike. So yeah, I think we're in agreement. Pissed off Dogman, firearm of our choice. So
Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, sorry. Goodbye.
Why don't you calm down there, Joe? You need to calm down. Sorry to hog the convo, but I believe dimensional portals are snatching people up. It's not just in the forests either. Sometimes they come out, sometimes not. There's a plethora of time distortions where people are dimensionally removed and returned.
Marcus, you keep dropping $49.99 on us. You conversation all night long. You know what I'm saying?
Any theory you want.
Any theory you want. And I agree with you on that. And I agree with you. I've said it on here before. I think that a lot of this stuff, UAPs, Bigfoot, Dogman, a lot of this paranormal activity is all, it's something to do with the nature of reality itself, whether it's a parallel universe, interdimensional, something that's here that we just can't physically touch or see except for under really, you know, important, we keep that up all. Oops, wrong one. Put Marcus's back up there.
How do
I think that it's intelligently,
I got it.
It's intelligently directed somehow. And I think that it's not only happening in the forests. I do think it happens in other places, but it's directed intelligently. There's some sort of intelligent control. And that's why.
Do you think it's an overarching intelligent control or it's individual intelligent control?
I don't think that, I don't know. My current theory is, and I mean,
are you suggesting like a cryptid hive mind?
That's what I'm kind of going for on this, because
don't
all
like
of
that.
the stuff seems to, there seems to be different types of stuff and everything like that. But I think that it's intelligently controlled. And that's why when you're standing at a stoplight to cross the street, 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, the 3 people next to you all of a sudden don't just vanish into thin air, and it's caught on security cameras and it's on the evening news. And oh, you know what? Maybe that is happening. And it's just getting covered up to a certain extent. And people go, I don't want to be the crazy person on Facebook saying this, but it's intelligently controlled. And I think that there is those time distortions, the missing time phenomenon that goes along. And I think that when people are abducted, and let's just use alien abduction as the case, because that's the most prevalent sort of thing. And those people come back and they're gone for weeks and they're going, it seemed like I was only gone for a day. You probably were only gone for a day, but wherever you were at, the time was traveling slower than it was traveling here. And there's direct parallels to that with European folklore. You were taken under the hill by the fairies and you thought you were only there for 3 days and nights, and you came back. Everybody you knew is now old men and women. You know what I'm saying? And they thought that you had been gone for a long time. So I agree with you on that, Marcus. That's exactly where my pet theories are with this stuff now. And thank you for that again. And thank you again, Mike A. So.
Make sure you hit that like button, everybody. So we're having this.
Dre MF just found a channel a couple days ago, and I'm binge watching at night. It's like crazy. We go to do comments. We go to answer comments sometimes, and we'll be like, "Holy crap! This person's been watching our stuff nonstop for like 3 days at this point. Get some sleep, man." But now we appreciate it. Thank you. You'll see that our opinions and our approaches have changed a lot.
Imagine hearing me nonstop for days and days and days and years at a time. Can you imagine it?
I not only imagine it, I live it. So. Sheila Evelyn out here. She's got the best idea. How about a Krampus card?
That's pretty good.
Stealing that idea, Sheila. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're doing good. But
Sheila Evelyn always coming through.
Always coming through for us, man. Patron saint, help and holler. So, yeah, that's a great idea. Krampus card from Help and Holler. That is a perfect. That's on brand, Sheila.
On brand.
When we make it big, we're gonna get you as the brand developer. So.
All right, we've got one from Sacred Grove Bros. While in the land, bitter with iniquity, how much do you feel? No matter the phenomenon, equal interest in you is present and is connected to life.
Bitter with iniquity. How much do you feel? No matter the phenomenon, equal interest in you is present and connected to life. Do we think that I'm going to try to decipher this. Okay. Very beautifully written. Does the phenomenon have an equal interest in us that we have in them? It sure seems like that, doesn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes it seems like that. To us, at least. And then I hear other people, again, I think it's just because a lot of the real brain power is associated with UAPs right now.
Right.
And some of those people are going, there's never going to be any understanding with this. The stuff is just going to do what it does. It doesn't really
and it doesn't care
about us.
If you watch or if you
maybe it doesn't care about us in that token, but I think it's interested in us and it seems to interact with us to a certain extent. So I think that there is interest on the other side, and at least in a mischievous kind of way, that trickster element. That
kind of a toying, you know, and
definitely.
We've definitely encountered that kind of trickster element where it obvious. I mean, I don't want to say that it directly interacts with us or messes with us on purpose, but it sure seems that way when the phenomenon kind of presents itself in one way, and then we adjust for that, and then we come back and it presents itself in a completely different way. So then we are forced to constantly be chasing this with tech, and it just seems like it's a joke.
Well, that's the thing too, is that I catch so much grief in the comments. If it wasn't for that guy, she'd have it, because I don't let her run. Like, I didn't let her run towards that portal because I saw the figures that were around it and you didn't. And then when it started to like lift up and I didn't know where the figures were, that was not I felt the danger in that, and I felt that that was just the wrong thing to do. And you were just like, I've got to go to it. There's going to be some disagreement on that, but it feels like sometimes it wants us to follow it, and every culture tells you don't follow the lights into the woods, don't do this. We're willing to do that sometimes, but we've also been, and I think you've released that on video, that time that we kept seeing those lights and then we were like, whoa, this is just a drop off over here.
Yeah.
And I'm going, if we had followed these lights and we had just ran after them blindly, we would have been 30 feet down. You know what I'm saying? Like real freaking quick. So yeah, I think that there's some I guess Jessi's doing a great job. I think that there's some back and forth with this stuff, definitely.
I'm glad that somebody can acknowledge that I'm at least doing a little bit of
Well, they don't
job.
want you to feel too bad, so
too inadequate.
I don't even know what this is about. I saw a guy hit an alligator over the head in a YouTube video recently.
Probably, they're talking about cast iron skillets.
Oh,
There's been a 40-minute cast iron skillet conversation.
I have not called
that has been going on here.
I'm sorry. I'm reading it right now. You could probably break somebody out of jail if you had a strong enough pole to attach to a cast iron skillet to. All right. Uh-oh, it's the end.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Hit that share button. Hit that like button. Tell your friends and neighbors about us. Wake your parents up. Hey, look at this. Shove their phone in your face. Hey, look at this. Lady Wolf's got a good one. William Cooper. Behold a pale horse. We ought to do a
dark dive.
A dark dive on like William Cooper and do it. I need to reread that book before I start to comment a lot on it. I will say the way he died was pretty freaking weird. You know what I'm saying? So
it was very suspicious.
Very suspicious that he was saying they're going to kill me for what I'm saying, and then they basically killed him for what he was saying.
When you were talking earlier about that one case that we dropped off of because it got too dangerous.
They didn't get.
I thought
well, it was dangerous to begin with, but we were becoming too
entangled,
and we were becoming too predictable. We were.
When you were talking about that, it reminded me of that guy who saw that thing on the mountain, and then he confronted the agents, and then he ended up dead.
He saw the giant on the mountain. Yeah,
that's what I thought you were talking about. Then you said we were involved in it, and I was like, wait, we weren't involved. That's what I thought you were talking about.
No,
but that guy kept saying they're going to take me out.
Whatever happened to that guy? If anybody knows what we're talking about,
that dropped off.
Was it on TikTok that he was
I don't know. He filmed the giant on the mountain.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but he filmed a giant on a mountain, and he disappeared, and then he came out, and then he said,
he's like,
I was just playing.
But it was a hostage video, basically, because he's like looking at the camera, and then he's like looking off camera.
But that seemed
I didn't mean
over exaggerated to me, because if I was, here's the deal, if I had a gun, if I had somebody at gunpoint going, you're going to release a video and you're going to say that this didn't happen. Okay. And they acted like that, I'd go, I'm going to kill you now, because now you've done this on purpose. So I don't know, but if anybody has any idea of who that dude is and what was going on, let us know. Bernard Fox
Phil and T said he did die. He's dead.
He's dead? He did die. Okay.
Yeah. That was shady.
Bernard Fox says, wanted to say hello to you both and watching since I heard y'all on PRT. Thank you. Welcome to the channel.
Phil Warren brings up a good point about that. Makes you wonder how Bob Lazar is still alive. Bob Lazar constantly said that they were going to take him out, and they never did.
He came forward to George Knapp because he thought that they were getting ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And his only protection was
to be just completely open
in the public eye. There are people out there that we know right now dealing with people who are having weird phenomenon, and they don't want to come forward. And the best defense is to get in the public eye, because that way, at least if they kill you, there are people out there like this dude that know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and again, it keeps you safe sometimes.
Mhm.
Bob Lazar is a perfect example of that,
Yeah.
perfect example of that. All right.
Moran's Crew said, Jessi, what's your favorite book on folklore and remedies? So we're talking about two different things here. When it comes to folklore, the number one book I go to, because of the region that we operate in, is James Mooney's book on the mythology of the Cherokee. That is my first resource when it comes to folklore, when we're doing any kind of research into an area, is I look at what were the Cherokee seeing long before anybody else arrived here. What stories had they passed down? What warnings did they give?
What is that? It's histories, myths, and sacred formulas of the
Cherokee?
Cherokee?
James Mooney.
So,
yep. So that's my number one thing. If you have any interest in this whatsoever, it's a perfect compendium of all of that. It's everything is in there. And it's the best resource. It is absolutely the best resource for that. Now, in terms of like remedies, if you're looking for any kind of, if you're looking for folk magic remedies in terms of that, there's a couple you can look at. I think Wiser Books has one that's pretty good on Appalachian witchery and granny witchery. That's all right. It's pretty good. But my favorite thing, and this is just a practical speaking kind of thing, this has nothing to do with magic or folklore or anything like that, but Prescription for Nutritional Healing is a wonderful resource when it comes to having a book at home that if you are having a problem with something, it explains what kind of nutrition you need to solve that problem, what kind of supplements, herbs, and everything, but it's Prescription for Nutritional Healing. That is my number one medical resource when I just need to fix something at home. So, Joseph?
I want to see what everybody's talking about, how just the dude saw the giant on the side of the mountain. TikToker, it was on TikTok. Okay. He went missing. This is all old stuff.
They're saying he committed his unlocked.
Andrew and his buddy sees a giant 10-pixel smudge, records it, passes. I said Andrew Dawson. He did die. Damn. What did he die from? Does anybody know? Probably wouldn't it be crazy if he was hit by a frying pan? I don't mean to think like about it, but that would be.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
You're doing a bad job now.
I'm doing a bad job now. Some of the stuff, they're debunking it. I don't know. I need to look into that some more because I forgot that happened. So.
Arcane Discovery says, what up, fam? Finally checking in. Hope everyone is doing good. How excited are y'all for the conference in Tennessee in October? We are trying to attend. Hope y'all and all the Hellbenders have a wonderful week. Thank you for that, Arcane Discoveries. We're very excited about it. I mentioned it earlier. I am speaking on October 14th at the Tennessee WILDMAN and Cryptid Con. I'll be there with Martin Groves. I'll also be there with Ron Moorhead. So, we're very excited about it. We're excited to get back into Tennessee, and
Barton Nunley's going to be just popping around.
Barton Nunley's going to be there. I think Deuster's going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a blast. We always enjoy going to these conferences. The last time we saw the gang was Monster Fest. So it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a very good time. And the dudes who are putting it on, the main guy, this is his first conference, but he has done work with other conferences in the past, a lot of work, and you can tell by the way he's putting this one on, it's like going to be awesome. So we're very much looking forward to that. Robert Randolph had a good one. Do you worry if you get clear evidence of a cryptid, you might be visited by the government or shut down from reporting it publicly? I think a couple of years ago that answer would have been yes. I think now it would be easier and cheaper and would have better future results if instead they just employed a group of very vicious people online to attack you and tell you that it's fake and that it's AI and you can make your life hell so that you stop talking about it and then other people see what happened publicly and decide to never go forward with it again.
Yeah.
I think the AI thing has given powers that be an excuse to publicly just ridicule you instead of silencing
and it's much easier
and cheaper. And it also, instead of just disappearing, it happens publicly and other people see what's happening and going on.
And they self-censor.
And then they self-censor at that point. So
Patty G talking about the remedy thing. Jessi, it didn't work to fix poison ivy at home. No, my poison ivy is so bad it was systemic.
when she went, the doctor went something to the, and I'm ballparking the dates here, but the doctor went, you should have came in. You should have came in a week ago. And Jessi's like going, I've only had it for like 3 days or something like that. And the doctor was like, oh God, yeah, you need to go on steroids.
Yeah,
like,
I had it. Mine was systemic. It's like in my bloodstream and it's in my lymphatic system. So I actually have poison ivy oil in my blood. So I might be more plant than girl now.
She's gonna like cut her hand and it's just
grow out.
Stuff's gonna come out.
But yeah, it's in my blood. So it's I had to go on steroids. That was the only way. Otherwise, I would be in dire straits otherwise. So if you need to go to urgent care, go to urgent care. Don't just try to fix it at home every time.
Contagious Cage and always the buzzkill. The giant is a tower. The second video from a different perspective, so it couldn't be seen. Leaf denier, giant denier. You know what I'm saying? So I had heard something similar to that. I haven't watched enough on it, so I got to check it out. So. Bill, love your videos from Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada.
I love that. Is it Chilliwack, right?
Chilliwack.
Chilliwack.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Love it.
Well, look what happened to the plane lady.
What?
I don't even know, but I just.
Oh, yeah. That MFR is not real. She got just lambasted.
She got lambasted.
Mm-hmm.
Spilling tea with Spunky Sparky. You had very bad reaction, and she got exposed to it here, and then exposed to it in the woods, and
so
then
I got double dose.
She got a double dose of the poison ivy. So,
yep.
JD Smooth had a quick little thing. I lived on a Cherokee reservation for about 6 years. I know they are afraid of little people.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. There seems to me that at least the people that we've interacted with, tribal members, are more concerned with that, and then the possibility of interacting with that than they are with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
They're both considered real, at least to some people. We've met people that are native that just go, it's all fake, you know.
Well, and
they're firmly in the 21st century, some of these people, and they think that it's, and then
allegedly there's contemporary evidence of them.
Yeah. So it's so there you go.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, it's all right. So
I mean, you were doing a good job.
I was doing a good job. Paul Puglia, this is for your snacks.
Thank you.
Why are out there to keep your energy up? So yes.
Help me get the strength to fight back.
I'm going to start filming this because usually what we do is if we stop to eat or whatever, we'll stake a camera down and then we'll have a digital audio recorder running. And then we just like pull out food and eat, do our water, filter water, do whatever. I'm going to like film you and just the horrors that you eat. And everybody's just going to go, oh God, why is she?
Well, what's worse, the worst part about it, it's vile because.
Oh, it's real vile.
It's vile. It's especially when I eat the pickled hot sausages because you got to rip it open. And then you've got that good vinegar, that spicy vinegar.
The good vinegar.
So you got to
just good vinegar.
Drink the sausage juice a little bit off the top and then eat the sausage. So
Mike says the exact same thing.
Art.
You could be sprouting vines like poison ivy. So thank you for that, Paul. Thank you for the grocery money to pick. You know, those meats get expensive, man.
Monster energy drinks are buy two get one free. So
yeah,
we definitely know that at the Exxon.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna do last call in a minute.
Contagious. Now keep going for a few minutes.
Okay,
we got it. So
I'm just saying last call to get everybody in the mood mindset for a last call.
Yeah, we'll probably go past 9:30 a little
bit.
Well,
then I have to take a pee break then.
You go take a pee. Everybody's having a
That's
good.
the case.
Everybody's having a good. Everybody's in it tonight.
I'm in my whole spin.
Tim Hatcher's calling it a night though. We'll swim. We'll go. We'll end it when we start to feel We'll feel it when people start dipping out on us.
I kicked the light.
So. I don't tell her that.
What?
Nothing. Everything's good.
What happened?
Not poison ivy related at all.
What is it?
Nothing.
Am I gonna die?
What I was saying is don't tell her that it nearly took a year to shake it off. She will flip out. So, JD Smooth's talking about, again, those little people, because Barton Nunley had chimed in. There's that area that we were just in this weekend. We've found small footprints up there before. And it's small bare footprints, you know, that are very wide compared to their length. It looks like a foot that a shoe has never been put on. And I know that people will go, oh, people wear Vibram 5-finger shoes, and they're, you know, that the little things that have the little sleeves that your toes go into. That still doesn't make your foot really broad, really flat, and spread your toes out and increase the diameter of your toes. These are really weird little prints. And people keep going, well, they're juvenile Sasquatch. And I say the same thing every week. If they're juvenile Sasquatch, where are the adults? Why are we not finding corresponding large bear footprints up there? Is it some sort of like Sasquatch Lost Boys thing where there's only kids and all their parents are gone? I don't think that's it. This area that we're talking about has legends of like little people going back for generations up there. And I think that if anything, even though that's even weirder than like Sasquatch, it's even weirder than Dogman, I think that's what's going on up there. So.
All right. I'm fueled here.
Fueled.
Got me another bev. Oh, all right, what did I miss? Now, what's
Marcus
going on?
wanted to know what's cooking on the griddle tonight.
I'm making pasta. I made it earlier in the day because it needs to sit in the pot. The meat sauce needs to sit in the pot all day, so that's already made. I just have to boil some noodles, my friend.
That's why I was saying we can go a little bit later because we don't have to, if people are still into it.
We don't have to do. Yes, we don't have to do anything.
Slave over a hot stove. But if we're down to like 3 people or whatever, we'll probably cut it. So.
What was about my poison ivy?
Somebody had said that a friend of theirs had it and they couldn't shake it for a year. And I was like,
What?
God, please don't tell her that. So,
Oh, well, I'm done. Just RIP to me. I'm just giving up.
Arcane Discovery's got something because I'm the energy drink person. She drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee. Try the Rain energy drinks. They have better energy benefits for you. And they taste better. How much are Rain?
I've had Rain before because I was switching when I was doing bangs. I did Rain as well. But yeah you do all right with that. I like those pink monsters though. Oh, we're pancreases. They're going to be just little nubs.
So we can speak with firsthand knowledge of what people think around here as far as like little people go.
Uh-huh.
This is secondhand knowledge from some Bigfoot people that live in Alaska that will go out looking for Bigfoot.
Yep.
One of them is used to do a lot of like brown bear hunting up there. Okay. They will go out looking for Bigfoot, but they will not go out looking for the little people in Alaska. It's like times 10 like it is around here. That if they won't go into certain areas. You know how like in Iceland when they're building roads, if they think the hidden folk, the Holden folk are like there, they'll build the highways around.
Yeah.
Up there, it's like a similar kind of like reverence mixed with like just terror. They won't go out. I'll go hunt a coastal brown bear. I'll go out look for Bigfoot. Well, there's been reports of little people there. Ain't going. So that is both.
And you're not supposed to mention them. You're not supposed to talk
that is both
about
indigenous. That's an indigenous person and just a like a Euro descent there that have the exact same feeling on it up there. So anyway. Sacred Grove Bros. When can we get merch with that new sweet logo? We talked about that earlier. We might do a pre-order for t-shirts. We always talk about, we're very appreciative of the people who contribute to kind of keep the channel going. We are really good on the spending money aspect of this and not so good on, let's make some Hellbent Holler coasters to get a little, get a little loot in. So, but we'll probably do a pre-order and some t-shirts.
Yeah. And I can set that up. We just have to decide when we want to pull the trigger on it. So that would be a pre-order. We'd have a pre-order period where you go onto the website, pre-order, and then we'd close the books on that and everything get printed up. It'd be shipped to me, and then I ship it out to you.
Mm-hmm. So
bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Big bada boom.
Where are we at? Everybody's talking about cooking now, man. Now we're a cooking show.
Because everybody's hungry.
Now we're doing a cooking show.
Everybody's hungry.
Wendy Nagel's going off 3:25 a.m. We need to sleep. Thank you for hanging out with us as long as you did. So
yeah,
if we get to the point, let me see if there's anything else starred that I wanted to cover.
Go over that.
And you keep an eye on the.
Also, y'all need to make sure you hit that like button.
Hit that like button. Terry Johnson earlier, I've seen quite a few documentaries on triangles. What are your thoughts on these triangle areas? What do you think the meanings? Are you talking about the black triangles in the air?
I think they're talking about like the Dogman Triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, the Bridgewater Triangle.
I think that the triangle thing is obviously let's pick 3 points around this area and do it. But as far as like cluster areas like that, or window areas that I see people all the time just going, that they don't think that this stuff happens in just particular areas. It happens everywhere. And I'm going, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
There are areas that there are weird spots. The LBL is weird. That spot in North Georgia is weird. We're finding out the dark corner is weird.
Speaking of triangles in North Georgia, we're finding triangles.
That's what I was kind of going for. We keep finding triangles on the. You guys saw that triangle that was
This is a micro and a macro.
Yeah, and when we were up there this weekend, we kept finding there's a lot of tree debris on the ground, branches, and twigs and whatnot. But we keep finding branches that are broken and drug into like triangle shapes and like right angles and X's and crosses and all that. And it's so prevalent because I don't think a lot of tree structures are anything. I think a lot of tree structures are just trees fall weird sometimes. Sometimes they have snow load, they just break. Sometimes maybe they had some rot that's not immediately identifiable and they just naturally broke and fell and knocked another tree over and bam. But up there, you can't deny it. You were like,
we're seeing triangles out of different material as well. We're seeing from sticks and wood. We're seeing stone. I mean, I don't know. I of course you think about red cars and you see red cars everywhere, but it's hard to in a natural environment see these angles and this all together. You know, there has to be something kind of intelligently designed there. You know, it's too much to be random and coincidence.
Oh yeah.
Luna Blue asked if we've seen Sugi in the chat. I don't think I've seen.
I've not seen Sugi in the chat. She was on
Paranormal Roundtable's chat yesterday
because we popped in to say hello and to thank for having us on. She was on there, but we have not seen Sugi today, so I hope she's okay.
Wellness check for Sugi, please. Somebody get to Erie.
Somebody get up there. Fargo, North Dakota. There seems to be 0 cryptids here. Please, there does. I can't.
Fargo is cold,
but still, there's Alaska's cold. Alaska's got tons of stuff. That is weird. I can't think of anything off the top. Again, we're focused on our area of operations. We're familiar with other stuff in other parts of the country just because we're into it, but I can't think of anything weird in
North Dakota,
in and around Fargo, North Dakota. So,
Henry White. Oh, Henry White, I'm listening to this, boy. I'm on you with this. Myself, I picked up a jet boil for coffee mainly. Lose power so much here. Portable propane stove, propane grill, and 1 jet stove. Put wood in it, and in 3 minutes it is boiling. Still playing with it. We have the jet boil with the jet boil that you connect the little propane tank to. That jet boil has been a game changer. My friend Katie, she did the live stream last Halloween with us. She and I get each other cool practical gifts for Christmas every year, but she's like my best friend. She got me a jet boil, and that thing has been a game changer when it comes to heating up. Because Joe said earlier, I'm a coffee nut. I drink coffee all the time. But that thing will boil coffee so fast. And of course, we do Mountain House meals, freeze-dried meals and stuff. That thing's awesome. Have you ever thought about getting a jet boil? Get one of those things. That's a rad piece of gear. We've talked about doing, somebody mentioned earlier that we need to do more videos on our equipment. But, other than our cryptid hunting equipment, we've also got our practical outdoor survival and camping type equipment. I think that there's going to be an expansion into us doing some stuff with our equipment and kind of, I want to talk about knives. I want to talk about flashlights some more. So I think I'm going to kind of expand what I do because this is all a part of what we do. All of that is in the realm of what we do is knives, flashlights, outdoor equipment, and plus the sensor tech and all of the equipment we use to film everything. So I think I'm going to kind of expand out in that because it's like a whole universe of things that we use. And it kind of shows how complex everything we do is.
Our boy Arcane Discoveries, if you hear drumming and singing in the lonely parts of the mountains, it's the Nunnehi, which is along with the little people. The Cherokee, the Nunnehi are pretty much like an approximation to like elves, okay? And not like tiny little Keebler elves, but like the European elves, tall. They're not men, they're not gods, they're not spirits, but they have supernatural abilities, and they're man-shaped and man-sized, but they're not humans, okay? And they are generally considered pretty cool with people. You know what I'm saying? You still don't want to intrude upon them. You treat them with respect, but they don't have like a malevolent kind of nature. But and then like the Cherokee Little People, it's the Yunwi. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. It's the Yunwi Yunwi Sunzi, and they are pretty much something you don't want to mess around.
Yeah,
they are. But the Nunnahi are like basically just like elves. They've helped out. The Cherokee have legends of them helping sometimes. They've helped certain Cherokee tribes out in times of war, but then other times people have gotten a little too overly familiar, and the Nunnahi have made them disappear.
Luna Blue is Suki. Okay. We need to just make sure she's not blocked from anything.
What is that now?
That is Suki.
Where are you seeing
Luna
this come?
Blue is Suki. I don't know why my messages have been blocked all night.
Long.
We'll look at it. Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't even seen. YouTube will sometimes
Filter people out. Yeah.
Filter people out, but generally we see
what's going to get
filtered out, and then we can approve it to let it go or not. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen a single message like that tonight.
I'll check that.
Going, yeah, we'll take care of it.
All right.
Suki, actually, reach out to us via email, and we have email for Suki, don't we? I can't remember. I thought we had the email.
Email us, Suki.
Email us just in case. We'll make sure that you get
or Luna Blue.
Luna Blue, whatever. But
whatever you are today.
Yeah, we would never block you like that. And I'm wondering why YouTube.
We're gonna check it out.
When y'all see the chat, we see the chat, but then we see
we're on StreamYard.
So we see certain messages that go, click here to approve this message. And we don't really get a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, somebody will just get picked up by the YouTube like algorithm for whatever reason. We have to approve it, but it's rare that even happens. And I haven't seen a single one tonight.
Yeah, I'll go on there. I'll see what's going on with it.
Yeah, no, we don't want you to. Thank you for coming in under your.
She had to get in on our business account.
So,
yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see what's going on with it. Hopefully, I might have got filtered. I don't know. It's been kind of weird lately.
Weird.
We were stuck. Like we were getting some subscribers for a while, and then it just stopped.
It just stopped. We didn't have any like
throttled for days.
And then we've had other times where we've just gone, whoa, did we like say something tick people? Usually if you say something controversial that people don't like, they let you know in the comments. But other times we've just had mass like unsubscriptions. We've had just, the channel freeze. I had somebody contact me going, why can't I find your video on this? And I'm going, it's there. And then they'll later on go, oh, it's there now. I don't know why it wasn't there earlier. So,
Russell Gray said that O-Light Recon is an amazing light for the money. Good 600 lumens to 1350 lumens. I'm going to have some O-Light content coming up because we do a lot of O-Light. We use O-Lights a lot. So we'll talk about some of our flashlights. I know a lot of you ask about what flashlights we use in the field and how we use them and everything. So I'm going to share that kind of stuff coming up. All right. I'm going to do last call.
Yeah, I'll do last call here in a minute.
Yeah.
I think everybody's kind of running their course. If anybody's got anything?
We got one lady. It's 3:30 in the morning at her house.
Drop it in on us now. Hey, Marcus, you'd sent that video about the triangle. I don't remember seeing that. I'll go back and check though and see if it's anywhere on there. So
Henry White likes the O-Light too. Yeah, we've got a bunch of O-Lights. So we've got a variety of flashlights. I'm going to start talking about that kind of stuff because people do ask us that all the time. And I think it'd just be kind of fun and cool videos to do.
Yeah, I'm worried about that Suki thing there. So
I'll go into our
we'll pull
dashboard
it up.
And see what's going on.
Ray says, watching your channel has opened my eyes here in Central Texas. I've learned that there are plenty of stories of Dogmen, Bigfoot, and other paranormal creatures. Our buddy Aaron Dees did the Texas Dogman Triangle.
We consulted on that.
We sent him a couple of witnesses on that. Because sometimes people will contact us going, hey, I'm in Texas and I'm having this stuff go on.
We're not going to Texas.
And I'll be like, we're not getting to Texas anytime soon. Let me send you to somebody who's in that area. See if they can possibly help you. We had some Texas stuff come up and we sent it to Aaron and he was able to include it in his documentary, include those encounters. So,
so we're going to do last call here. If anybody has anything else, I know that Barton Nunley's going to bed. Everybody's everybody's done. I know. We're still recovering from this crazy weekend too. But thank you guys for joining us. If you got anything else, I'll throw it up there and we're going to check on our Suki issue.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking right now to see.
Yeah, we'll check that out because that's not cool. And
one of our ride or dies, man. We gotta get something figured out.
Yeah, really. So make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. After the show tonight, I'm gonna put in the show notes, which will be in the description below. I'm going to put in a link to our PRT interview, what we did with Paranormal Roundtable. I'm going to have a link to that. So if you guys missed that, you guys can check out the replay of that. I'm going to put that on there. I'm also going to put a link to Steve CAUSEY'S book, because Steve CAUSEY was kind enough to send us that signal booster that has made it possible for us to live stream from the freaking side of a mountain. So I'm going to put a link to Steve's book up there. If you're interested in any way of the LBL, the history of it, and all the weird going ons there, check out Steve CAUSEY'S book. I'll have a link to that on there. And I'm going to also have a link to the Tennessee WILDMAN and CryptidCon information. I think the hotel is getting sold out if it's not
pretty
already.
Quick, so yeah.
But you can purchase your tickets there, and you can get information about lodging and the event itself and everything going on there. So I'm going to include those 3 things in the show notes below after the show.
We got a thing real quick. No one you know asking people to send some prayers for my cousin. Had surgery today. So
All
I
right.
hope your cousin's okay. I hope everything wasn't serious, and I hope that they are bouncing back. And I'm sure everybody in the chat.
Prayers for Ghetto Yeti's grandmother as well. That's,
Yeah, it's
I hate
terrible.
that.
And then now no one you know has got this going on. So
Yep.
I hate to hear that. So
And then I'll be working on Equinox, the Equinox project, whatever I'm going to call it. I guess Equinox. I'll be working on that. So keep an eye out. And we really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. It was another good Monday. I hope you guys had a great time.
real quick, Luna Blue, Sugi, hey, email us, help@holler.com right after you get off here, and send
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
I'm going to get us a real email.
And send me a link to your channel. To, you know how when you get onto YouTube, you have a channel, even if you don't post anything on there, that's like your user account. Send me a link right to that account so I can get on here and see if there's anything that has like triggered like an algorithm to block you or something.
Yeah, we'll check it out. We'll check that out as soon as we get off of here. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna look into the Suki situation. Looking at this. All right. Yeah, everything looks good. We good? Good? We cool?
Good. That's what people's channel
All
are
right.
at, so
I'm gonna play some music for you guys to say goodbye to. But thank you again. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Keep your notifications on, because I don't know when I'm putting that video out. I'm gonna be plugging away on it. There's a lot there. So love you guys. You're awesome. Have a badass week. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And let's make it happen. I'm gonna play this awesome music here. What is that? Just chicken in my ear?
yes. Thank you. Bye.